the first migration of Islam to Ethiopia, and King Negus. In history, Ethiopia holds a very special place in the story of Islam. More than 1,400 years ago, during the time of Prophet Muhammad, the early Muslims were facing severe persecution in Mecca. They were insulted, tortured, and pressured to abandon their faith by the leaders of Quraysh. Life became extremely difficult for them, and they needed a safe place where they could practice their religion freely. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, advised his followers to travel to Abyssinia, Ethiopia, saying that there was a king there who was just and would not oppress anyone. Following this advice, a group of Muslims migrated across the sea to Ethiopia. This journey is known as the First Hijra in Islamic history. At that time, the king of Abyssinia was Ashama ibn Abjar, also known as King Negus. He was a fair and just ruler who protected people from injustice. When the Muslims arrived in his land, he welcomed them and gave them safety and protection. Later, the leaders of Quraysh became angry and sent 2 representatives to the king, asking him to return the Muslims back to Mecca. They tried to convince him that the Muslims had left their traditional beliefs and followed a strange religion.
However, King Negus refused to act without hearing both sides. He called the Muslims to his court and asked them to explain their belief. The spokesperson for the Muslims was Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. He explained Islam with wisdom, and respect, and recited verses from the Quran, especially from Surah Maryam.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واذكر في الكتاب مريم إذ انتبذت من أهلها مكانا شرقيا فاتخذت من دونهم حجابا فأرسلنا إليها روحنا فتمثل لها بشرا سويا.
When the king heard these verses, he was deeply moved. He cried and said that these words and the message of Jesus came from the same divine source. The Quraysh delegates tried again to pressure him, but King Negus refused to betray the Muslims. He protected them and allowed them to live safely in his kingdom. Because of this, Ethiopia became the first safe refuge for Muslims in history, and King Negus is remembered as a symbol of justice and kindness. This story remains a powerful example of justice, humanity, and the protection of the oppressed.
በእኛና በእናንተ ሃይማኖት መካከል የዚህችን መስመር ያህል እንኳን ልዩነት የለም። አምኑ። ጋራ የሚያህል ወርቅ ብታመጣ እንኳን እነዚህን ሰላማዊ ሰዎች አሳልፌ አልሰጥህም።